Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode. This week we're actually going to be talking about something that we did last week, and it was Mark's birthday. So I'm going to go over the few things that we did during it. I'm going to show you guys some cool footage, and I'm going to show you everyone having a really good time and really enjoying Mark's 23rd birthday. So let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so I'll kind of give you the background of Mark's birthday first, talk about the individual things that we did, and then kind of bring you guys along for the ride for the whole thing. So let's start with the background of it. So like I mentioned in last week's episode, I'd actually been planning Mark's birthday for a really long time because I want it to be something kind of like I like planning birthdays, especially for my closest friends. So when I was originally planning on what to do for Mark, what I was going to do is we were going to go take a seaplane to Seattle and then stay there with a few friends, do a few things, go grab coffee and try some food and just experience some like cool chill stuff, go for a massage, stuff like that. But because of COVID, we weren't really able to do that. Well, I mean, we were, but it would have been really difficult, and then plus we would have had to quarantine ourselves. Everyone would have to quarantine themselves when we got back. So we had to kind of switch the plan a little bit and kind of pivot to something that's going to be a little bit more accessible to everyone. Because I mean, given the costs of going on the float plane to Seattle and then doing all the stuff in Seattle, it was going to be a little expensive, and everyone's budgets are a little bit more strained recently. So what we planned on doing, we were like thinking about different things that we could do. We planned on maybe going to an island or maybe going to an escape. An escape, by that I mean, I don't mean escape room, I mean like somewhere that's really far away that we could all just chill. But again, the same problem occurred. The float plane was a little bit too expensive to go to those far places for most people. So again, we were looking around for different options, and then we came down on Seattle, Whistler, and we kind of started to build a plan from there. So originally, so we wanted to have three things included in the experience. We wanted to have we be able to stay the night somewhere, try some really interesting food or different food, or maybe an experience around food, and then something that was extremely relaxing. We ended up adding one more to it, but that was kind of spur of the moment. So let's start with the first day. So with the first day going, me and Mark had been hanging out for most of the morning, doing a whole bunch of really interesting stuff and trying out different coffees. We were actually planning on going to a place called Cafe Medina. And if you guys have never been, look it up. It's amazing. They have really good quality food. The coffee's amazing as well. But I forgot to get a reservation. So when we went there, they said it was going to be at least 2-hour wait. We walked there. So we got there, put our name down. Like, yeah, about an hour or 2 hours. We're like, okay, that's fine. We put our name down, and then we just went to Gastown to kind of do things in the meantime. And we actually ended up doing like a cafe hopping thing. We went to different cafes, tried different espressos and a bunch of other stuff. I didn't catch any video of that, unfortunately, guys, but I have an interesting story though. So after we're leaving Cafe Medina, we're walking down the street, and me and Mark are just talking, and as me and Mark finishes his remark, and I kind of look up, passing me on my right hand side was, I think it's Cole Sprouse or Dylan Sprouse, I forget who lives in Vancouver. And he kind of just like looked at me, like when we were walking by. I looked up, and he kind of looked at me like I was about to like go up to him like, oh my god, and I just kind of looked at him and like kind of like nodded my head, and he nodded his head, and we just kept going. And then Mark didn't notice, I don't think, and then we kept walking. I'm like, yo dude, do you know who we just passed? He's like, who? Cole Sprouse. He's like, no way. And then Mark turned around, and Cole was at the lights. He turned around, and Mark started saying, he's like, holy shit, it is him. Yeah, no, so that was cool. Too bad. And then we finally got the call, hey, you got to be back in 15 minutes if you want your reservation at Cafe Medina. So that's what we did. So we head back to Cafe Medina, and we enjoyed some beautiful breakfast. I talked a little bit, and then Jack was actually on his way back from Chilliwack after spending the night with his parents, because the night before was actually his mom's birthday. So once he got back, he actually brought a whole bunch of drinks. Me and Mark were waiting here at home, and we started to organize things. And again, to kind of give you guys the perspective of what's going on, Mark didn't really know what we were doing the whole time. The only thing that kind of let slip is that his dad actually told him that we were going to Whistler. So that was the only unfortunate part, but everything else was still a mystery. So we got to Whistler a little bit late. Mark got absolutely sloshed. Yeah. I'll save the rest of the stories for the people who want to know. Let me know in the comment section down below if you actually want to know some of the stories that happened on the way up to Whistler. But for this video, I'll actually keep it as PG as I can. We get up to Whistler, and it was actually pretty late, so I made a dinner reservation at a place called Tepan Village, and that's like a teppanyaki place. And a teppanyaki place is basically where they have that big grill in front of you, and there's like a bunch of chairs around it, and then the chef does kind of like cool tricks as he like grills your food. It's delicious. I've actually always wanted to try it, but I never really had a chance to, or I just never really kind of thought of it like immediately when I'm thinking about something I want to eat. So we were like, okay, cool, that's an experience around food, and this place is like rated pretty decently, so let's try it. Extremely expensive. I mean, if the experience is worth it, then it's worth it. So we got everything going, we went down, and like everyone's getting pretty hammered. I stayed relatively sober the whole night just to be sure we could like get from point A to point B and then get all the other activities done. And plus, when I have a hangover, I'm pretty much useless the next day. So I stayed pretty much sober the whole night. We walked there, we did all our stuff, we had a lot of fun drinking, watching the chef cook and do all his cool tricks and like seasoning the food. It was really interesting. If you guys haven't got a chance to go to Tepan Village or any teppanyaki for that matter, so I really suggest trying it. It's really a cool experience to bring other people along and kind of, you know, I don't know, it's nice, it's cool. It's better, I don't know if it's better, but it's different than what you usually do where you sit down at the table, it's pretty formal, and bring you food and you order it. But there you stand in front of the chef makes your food and puts it on your plate. And I feel like there's more of a connection that you have between the chef, the food, and yourself. But again, that's just me. Anyway, guys, for that night, that was all we did. We went back to the hotel, and we stayed up pretty late drinking and talking. But the next day, I had to wake up pretty early, and actually, let's back it a little bit. So we spent the whole night drinking, and I will pass it back to Greco in the moment to say goodbye and introduce us to the second part of the video. Hey guys, so that finishes the very first day of Mark's birthday. I'm gonna go to sleep. I gotta wake everyone up tomorrow so we can check out at 10 a.m. My gosh, my apologies for my hair. So we can check out at 10 a.m. I will see you guys tomorrow for breakfast. Peace. Alrighty guys, so it is now the morning time and I have to go wake up all these hungover people. So I made my way to the other room. We actually got three, technically speaking, only 2 rooms, and one room had 2 bedrooms inside of it. So I went to their room and I had to spend some time waking up good old Jack because he was very tired in the morning and very much hungover. Anyway, so we got everyone outside, we're waiting outside, and we actually only got the hotel for one night, so we had to check out, bring all our stuff out, get up by 10-ish a.m. And then we went into the village and tried to decide what we wanted to eat. And we went back and forth during a few different things, but we figured out that we really wanted to sit somewhere and actually enjoy some food. So after walking around and struggling with what we wanted to choose, we settled on this place called Crêpes Montagne. And this place is known for their crepes, obviously by the name. And yeah, it was decent breakfast food. Not super expensive, but not super cheap either. But it was really good. I had a latte, and then I had a eggs Benedict and a honey almond crepe. Honey almond crepe was absolutely delicious though. So anyway, after that we got everything going, and then we were going to go to this the second part of the whole trip was going to be, because the biggest thing that Mark said that he wanted to do during his birthday was chill. I don't know if we accomplished that in night 1, but for day 2 I really want to kind of hammer that home. So we went to this place called Scandinave Spa. And if you guys have never heard of Scandinave Spa, it's partially a hydrotherapy spa where you go in. There's like different sections where like you start off with a really steamy sauna, then you go into a frozen like a really cold ice bath, and then you go into a hot tub, and then you repeat that cycle over and over again, shocking your muscles and relaxing them. And it really helps with recovery, and it's very relaxing in the moment. The day after you feel kind of sore, but like, so we go there, and actually I'd talked to this lady beforehand, or the people at Scandinave Spa, if I should make a reservation. She's like, nope, there's no need, it's not usually busy at that time. But when we got there was a 2-hour wait. So we're like, okay, well, let's kill some time. Okay, wait, let me back that a little bit. At the restaurant, actually, while we were eating, we were at 2 separate tables. They actually planned that they wanted to go bungee jumping, and I wasn't aware of this. But they went bungee jumping. Well, they planned to go bungee jumping at 5:30, and when we were eating, it was around like maybe 2:30. And so we went to Scandinave Spa. They didn't have any space, so we were like, okay, we'll put our names down on the waiting list and we'll come back later and enjoy this. So what actually ended up happening is that we went after Scandinave Spa. We still had some time before we had to go to Whistler bungee jumping. So we went to the lake, and guys, I think it's called Alta Lake, a beautiful lake on in Whistler. And me, Jack, and Morgan all sat on the dock and kind of just enjoyed the wind and the sun. It was such a pretty day, guys. And I'm gonna show you some more pictures and videos of that right now. It was just like so relaxing, and I was really kind of trying to embrace the chillness of the trip. But after a couple hours there, guys, we had to actually go down to the bungee jumping. I want to show you guys a little bit of footage of that. This is our second time bungee jumping. I didn't bungee jump this time because I gave my spot up to Morgan because they only had so much space, and I had already done it before he hadn't, so I moved it over to him. So after that, guys, yeah, we went to Scandinave Spa, and we had an absolutely incredible time, and I really enjoy that place. It's super relaxing, and if you guys are ever in Whistler, I would strongly suggest going because it's just an experience all on its own. It's very quiet. You can't, like, it's a quiet place. Like, you can't have your phones out. It's amazing. It's really refreshing and different. But after that, and like this is kind of where it like speeds up a little bit. We got some noodles, and then we got some noodles in the village, and then it was time to come back, guys. And then that was basically all for Mark's birthday. If you guys want a little bit more information on this, let me know in the comment section down below. I can do a part 2 of this video, kind of going over the more finer details of it. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. And if you guys enjoy my content, please consider subscribing, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.